and wanted to get a new cat because hers had died. Gary would listen with exaggerated interest as Indiana stifled a yawn. This man lived behind a kind of veil, she thought. He was a smudged figure in a washed-out watercolor. And now here he was, having a friendly get-together with her family, playing blindfold chess with Amanda. It was Danny who had introduced them, Indiana's father and daughter on the one hand, and one of her patients on the other. Gary had figured that grandfather and granddaughter would be waiting at least an hour for Indiana to finish her session with the poodle, and since he knew Amanda liked board games, her mother had told him, he challenged her to a game of chess. Blake timed them with a chess clock he always put in his pocket when he was going out with Amanda. "This girl here can take on multiple opponents at once," he warned Gary. "So can I," said Gary. And sure enough, he turned out to be a much more astute and aggressive player than his timid appearance suggested. Folding her arms impatiently, Indiana looked around for another table, but they were all taken. In one corner, she saw a man who looked familiar, although she couldn't say from where, with his nose in a book, and asked if she could share his table. The guy got such a fright that he leaped up from his seat and the book fell on the floor. Indiana picked it up. A William C. Gordon detective novel that she had seen among all the books of variable quality on her father's shelves. The man, who was now the beetroot color particular to embarrassed redheads, gestured to the empty seat. "We've seen each other before, right?" said Indiana. "I haven't had the pleasure of an introduction, but our paths have crossed on a number of occasions. Samuel Hamilton, Jr., at your service." "Indiana Jackson. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your reading." "It's no interruption at all, ma'am." "Are you sure we don't know each other?" "Quite sure." "Do you work around here?" "From time to time." They carried on with their small talk while she said, waited for her father and daughter to finish. Only a matter of minutes, since Amanda and Gary were playing against the clock. When the game finished, Indiana was shocked to realize that the jerk had beaten her daughter. "You owe me a rematch," Amanda said a little bitterly to Gary as she left. She was not used to losing. The old Cuore d'Italia restaurant, established in 1886, was famous for its authentic cuisine, and for the gangland massacre that had taken place there in 1926. The local mafia had met in the large dining room to taste the best pasta in the city, drink good bootleg wine, and cordially divide up California between